Hey there, gang. Patrick King here, coming to you live from near Baltimore, Maryland, teaching tomorrow in Catonsville, real near here. Today's question comes to us from Cal, and Cal sends in, what have you found to be most helpful in preparing a young horse for their first rides under saddle to get them used to something being above them? This is something that I've done quite a bit. I've started actually several thousand colts now in my career, or young horses in my career, started them under saddle. So really there's three basic things that I think are to me, the best that I've found for getting a horse used to somebody being above them. The first one of those I find to be ponying. If you've got a saddle horse or riding horse that you can pony the other young horse along on, I think that's a fantastic idea. You can kind of get their feet freed up, get them real confident with somebody being above them. You can kind of let the horse you're riding be a confidence booster for them in that situation. I think is a great thing to do. Being able to ride up next to them and rub them, pet them on the neck and on the face and down the back and things like that. It's a great way to help them through the halter rope, to get them used to having their feet freed up, kind of laterally moving the feet, hindquarters across to the side, things like that, from the back of the horse. That, again, like we said, is a little bit more confident, helps the young horse to be more confident than with somebody up there. So that's a good way I find to do that. Another way I find to help them is to teach them to come over and stand next to you at the fence for a good scratch. Maybe you've got a corral fence or pasture fence or even a wall you can climb up to. You can teach them, free the feet up and teach them to come up there and stand next to you for a good scratch, things like that. We've got to keep in mind, it's all about building their confidence. That's the big thing. If you've got one that's worried, take the time. Don't rush that. About the first time you rush through it and you jump up on them and they get scared and you get farted off in the dust, and you'll probably wish you would have slowed down and worked on their confidence anyway. So take your time to make sure that that gets good. A third way, once I've taken care of those other two ways, then I would be apt to kind of do some hopping up and down beside them and get to where I can hop up and belly over them, kind of rub them from the top, laying over them. Of course, we're going to consider the fact that they're strong enough, ready to be started under saddle. At this point, I wouldn't do this on a horse that was too young to be saddled or to be ridden, too small or unfit. I'd want to make sure he was strong enough to hold my weight at this point, of course, right? But I'll climb up there, jump over top of him and rub on him that way. It's something that you can do even if the horse doesn't have a couple rides on him. That's a great thing to do to get him ready for those, because then he's kind of carrying you up there, seeing you out of both eyes. Of course, be careful when you do that, you want to make sure you've got balance, right? I think that goes without saying. Don't go shoving yourself up there if you don't have the balance to do that, because the last thing you need to do is go falling and then scaring him, right? Never mind the fact that you might get injured, but you're going to set your training back also if you get the young horse or the green horse worried about doing that. And then you'd wish you'd just left it alone and sent him off to somebody else anyway. So those, Cal, and to anybody else out there who's wondering, who's getting ready to start a young horse or green horse under saddle, those are the three primary things that I would do to get one ready to be ridden, to get him confident with somebody up there. I'd pony him, I'd work him off of a fence, and then I'd work on hopping up and bellying over and scratching him all over, making sure always, with every step of the way, that he learns that you being up there is a good thing, is a safe thing, is a situation where he can feel comfortable to move his feet, right? It's not always about just stand still in this moment, because when you're trying to ride, you don't want him to just stand still, right? You want him to be able to move those feet and feel confident with you being up there. So hopefully that's helpful to you, Cal, and to anybody else out there who's got that situation upcoming. Let's see, question of the day today. Okay. Question of the day is, how many colts or young green horses have you started under saddle? I'm looking forward to hearing your answers to that. Give me your answers in the comment section below this video here. And don't forget, gang, you keep sending in your questions. Send them to us directly here in the comment section. Send them to our page. You can direct message us, email us. You keep sending in your questions, and I'll keep talking about horses. Thanks, gang.